Hey, what is up with it? Welcome back to TF2V. It's been a minute. The new year has come, and so are the games. We're here with the Winter Showdown preseason map test cup for the upcoming ETF2L winter season. Should be a fun time. I'm Dom here. With me on the mic is Cerny, and in the back, panicking badly, is J-Mans.
my man's having trouble back there, but he got it working just last second. I mean, apparently the gamers are going live any second, right? So we got to get into that gaming. But I suppose while we have a second to talk about it, we are looking at some map testing, right? Right now we're looking at Sultry. That's going to be the map they're going to be playing here. Teams of NOOBPANZER.BLK, aka Black, versus Venom Crosshairs. So yeah, we'll see how well they can perform against each other. You were saying that this could actually be an interesting match.
Well, at the very least, I said it should be a more interesting semi-finals because they had to close the game of the two potential matchups coming up right now. So we'll see if they can put up a fight. This is a lot of people I've seen around the scene already, but certainly a few more heavy hitters on the red side here on the NOOBPANZER. So I'm very curious to see how the vaguely new blood on Venom Crosshairs can stack up with this.
Well, it's certainly going to be interesting to see as they're making their way to the first mid already. Wanting to see how this Sultry mid goes. I've never actually seen this map played, so I am just as excited to see how this dynamically plays. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the classic 5CP map. Also, they have a heavy on the side of Venom immediately, just straight away. The sniper as well, mind you. Stace is going to be the first to go down, unfortunately. So I guess that's the mid done. Your demo's out of the equation, but they bought themselves a little bit of time with the heavy sniper, slow rollout. I mean, it's bound to happen that they won't be able to necessarily win the mid right away. But second holding here should be pretty nasty. Marco tries to go for a deep bomb in. Won't work. Meanwhile, Heavy just mows down Horseman just like that, unfortunately.
No,
that's it?
What? With an SMG in hand. Oh no, that's a bit of an embarrassing one. Like I said earlier before we went live, I vaguely hoped for this to happen. They didn't do this all day yesterday in the group stages, but they did do it once, and that was the one they won. So if you can't win, you know, an even fight, just make it scuff for your opponents if possible.
And it's working. I mean, this re-aggression as well with the Conjurer working beautifully out of huge, and they retake mid off the back of it. They're gonna continue rolling the sniper heavy as well. Venom still committing to that. Boone, aka you know, aliased player, they're still committed to that sniper as well. It's been working for them. Marco can't quite get a pick here either. This combo is so stuck together. They are playing Prolander at the end of the day. They are playing a bit closer together. If you can't concentrate that damage on that combo, you're gonna have a hard time dealing with this pound of flesh just moving across the map here. And right now, NOOBPANZER are struggling. They have to back up to last. There's a bit of a bump at Horseman. He does get the force off there at the very least. But is it going to be enough to salvage this last hold? Because they still have to hold against this, which is quite a tall order.
Yeah, it won't be easy here. Heavy already busting in, Heavy taking so much damage. Venom in the lower area just busting this wide open for them. They haven't Heavy of their own, but at this point, is it enough? Doesn't look like it. The snipe comes out from peak. And the Prolander team is winning. And there you go, Venom Crosshairs up 1. This would be an upset. I checked with the Hawks yesterday. This was the one game I didn't watch of NOOBPANZERs yesterday. And it did end up being a 5-0. It took them a whole 30 minutes to do it, but they did get pushed to the round limitations we have in place as well before the 30 minutes came around. So already off to a good start of Venom Crosshairs.
Yeah, they're coming out swinging, and they're committed to the meta here. They're just gonna keep using what works as long as it keeps working. Why would they switch it up for the next mid fight? Still rocking the heavy sniper going forward. Let's see if NOOBPANZER can adjust to this. If they can find a way to break this combo apart, or just find a way to do more than just win a mid fight. Because as it stands right now, they're not even doing that. They lost Ratslayer, they lost Joe already. No heals, no demo. Hail Mary bomb there from Horseman straight into the heavy isn't going to do much either. Marco tries to do the same, gets taken down by the demo. It's just the scouts left, both of them running for their lives, as this is a horrible position to be in.
There he goes, taking on the flip side better and better for Venom Crosshairs now. Well, this is not just a mid-win, this is a huge mid-win too. Joe does not have anywhere close to a fully charge with this last push coming in, and they didn't even have a good last time either. They just had like the plague, I think, and that was really it. They went off here now with big ad coming through as well. Bit awkward now to really play this fast approach with Sniper and Heavy, but as long as the people that can go fast do the work for the other guys to come in late and clean up the map like we've seen with the Sniper and Heavy, this might just still be good enough.
Let's see if this Uber will make the difference here. It's a bit of a better hold for NOOBPANZER just because they have more players this time around. They had more time to set up their defenses, but they're all also stuck in spawn, and anybody who isn't has been murdered. So it's only 2 players left trying to hold the point here. Ratslayer and Brook trying their absolute hardest, but there's a conch coming out as well to seal the deal if it wasn't already sealed in a 1v5 on the point. There's Venom going up 2-0 already.
Well, I mean, if you want to plug your own crosser, then doing it with a win that is, I think, undebatably a bit of an upset would be a strong start for your own brand.
The best advertisement you can have. You gotta win to advertise the best way. It's absolutely what you want to do, and right now, the strategy of whatever the hell it is working, buddy. Maybe, just maybe, NOOBPANZER can finally warm up a little bit, get back into this. Normally, you would imagine that the heavy sniper should be able to maybe take a few rounds like this, but eventually, once the other team adjusts to it, once they find a way to work around the strategy, they will manage to do something. And well, for now, they're winning a mid. They managed to shut down all the entrances, so that already worked pretty well for them. Let's see if they can keep it rolling forward, though. That's the hard part.
Yeah, I mean, last time on mid, they just had like everything handed to them pretty much right away. Now they have to do a lot more hard work if they want to get any more around. NOOBPANZER on the other side, not much with an easier task at hand as well. They don't have the switch classes for the stamina. In fact, already are way more prepared for it than their opponents would be, even if they wanted to switch to sniper in this situation. They have one already. They have the heavy still waiting here. And how do you play around this right now? Full overcharges as well, and with the soldier on the flank, then quickly Swiftcat going down. Things aren't looking any better just yet. Gotta really be careful how you approach this right now. Maybe it's an exchange you need to hope for. But you really got to catch them at it quick with this one. If it takes so long, then you can't stay in on the second point of your opponents at all, or else you just get melted the second you with it.
Not to mention, this map isn't as crazy with sidelines, but they still have that sniper as well, right? Peek, yeah. He's peeking aggressively right there. If he manages to catch somebody out of that Uber exchange before the Ubers pop, maybe even the medic, God knows, right? That would be absolutely terrible for NOOBPANZER here, so they actually have to be careful playing around the sniper as well. They want to make sure that they don't peek sidelines unnecessarily. It's a tough nut to crack. This is like a great defensive hold here for Venom Crosshairs. They are absolutely set up to hold this with an iron fist, and okay, Venom going down is definitely going to help a little bit with trying to push in. That heavy had a lot of heals pumped into him. He's taken care of. You got a scout flanking behind as well, causing a bit of a distraction. This could be your opportunity. The sniper is kind of out of position, won't be able to do much here. Does get the kill onto Marco, unfortunately for him, but Huge gets taken down on the other side. Horse is in deep on the combo here as well, so trying to get the force out, manages to get it out of Aren't sure, but is it going to be enough to keep moving forward? They have to use their own well as well. Obviously, Joe's going to have to pop to that. And it is a lot better for NOOBPANZER, but they won't be able to catch anybody but stays here, as everybody else has already run away.
Alright, good enough for NOOBPANZER. Got out of this whole scenario. The better of it is, sketchy as it was at times, this force is still good enough to get them going. Unfortunately, I don't think much further than this. You'd really like to just convert of these, but spawns are not in their favor. Down and down sounds nice, but they don't have everyone back yet either. Just now regroup fully with all 6, but this time around, they went in on this damage, and ooh, look at that. Nice rockets out of Marco. Last time we've seen him on stream was in the last map cup we had on Medic, so can now show his EM powers here a little bit as well.
Oh, there goes Venom as well. A little overextended, maybe a bit ambitious, trying to hide so far forward. A bit of coordinated spam. All it took to take him down. This is a prime opportunity for NOOBPANZER to make their way forward. They're going to get the stickies off the point. Marco's going to lay down his life for that for now. And I guess that's all they're going to accomplish. They're getting pushed back already. They know that the Ubers are in play here. Maybe they were trying to get an early force out of Orange here there. They also have Brook on the sniper on their side now, seeing him counter snipe a little bit. Does not get the dual win there, unfortunately. And it's just demos spamming through doors at each other. Now with the heavy up again, the sniper peeking as well, very aggressively. But still, they've got this point locked down for now. It's going to be on the Uber exchange to see how they can push in here.
Yeah, and this is where chat might be able to help us as well. I'm not sure how much any of the maps we see potentially tonight have been played in other leagues. I know ProWorks has been played at least a little bit in Australia, and that's really it. I don't know if Manbase or Sultry have seen much play. I think this one is played a little bit in America. I'm not sure. All of them are fairly new for sure. And certainly new in Europe as well. So interesting to see if people can figure out certain things already that might be known strats, but obviously if you haven't played them yet, you might not be too aware of. And Sentry Sports is one of those, I guess, as well. You gotta know these Sentry guns are a little too good even on last point sometimes, so knowing where to put them in the right place at the right time is very instrumental to keep this together. For now it's working for Venom Crosshairs, but they still have a lot of time to go if they want to actually just sit here until the end of the timer and get back to mid.
I mean, they could certainly do it. They have an insanely defensive build right now. It is going to keep them alive for at least another minute or two burnt off the clock quite easily. It's gonna be on NOOBPANZER to make the move here. They have to find a way to break this hold somehow. And right now, they're struggling. They definitely are. It's not looking great for them. If I had to compare this map, by the way, just like taking a look at this last, it's kind of like a mixture of like Sunshine and Snake Water, it feels like a little bit.
Kind of, I can see that, yeah. Sniper's back out again as well, but Teddy just second life in a row cannot find the kill. Peak in the meantime staying nice and healthy with the team, has to take those chances here of course, but NOOBPANZER with no such luxury will just have to keep on trying. Maybe the wide open door can do something here. I don't know, it's not really a dust door at all, but it feels like a CS dust door on the one side of the entrance here. Always interesting to have these like wide open areas like as entrances like this and see how it goes. It avoids sidelines quite easily with the walls in every direction around it basically, so it's not too bad, but instead if you want to actually shoot anyone through that thing, you gotta expose yourself a little bit, and Stace is exactly doing that, taking a huge risk and just about getting away with it.
Yeah, Marco tries to bomb around, just gets juggled by the sentry, cleaned up by the pyro, and on the other side, nobody can even get close. Venom is just camping that doorway with the heavy, making sure absolutely nobody can go through there. Making a lot of room for a sniper as well, just seeing if he can get a cheeky little shot up, and Joe's in a dangerous position for that. He doesn't seem to be aware that there's a sniper that could be deep and peeking deep any second. Only gets body shot, fortunately for him, but that could have been quite disastrous. And that sentry is still keeping alive as well. They're even trying to spam it down, they can't do it. Now they're getting spammed by the demo again as well. They're really struggling to find their way in here. It seems like such a tough hole to break right now. Getting headshot, getting just shut down from every opportunity. Nobody even really trying to go on the other side, I guess, because the demo can lock it down so easily. Obviously, lower is no man's land, but they're just gonna Uber through it. Finally making a move with 1 minute left on the timer. They've realized it is time to finally go. Unfortunately, their Uber is accomplishing absolutely nothing.
Does it? Wait a second. Huge damage from the soldier just hiding in lane. Big damage on the heavy as well. Needs some heals quick, and the focus fire has to come in and clean it up. The arrows keeping Venom alive for so long, only for eventually the balls to come out. That was huge stuff on the side of Rivka, getting this damage in last second just on the weak players that they weren't using, but he's still there! No one's taking attention to the soldier, just sitting on the offensive right side, but there we go, they finally found the ball, and they all rotated to him as well, instead of getting in from any other angle, and what started out looking so good, saved by the soldier, just ends up a disaster, as they all try to meet up with him again, instead of rushing in a different angle. Huge clutch for Venom Crosshairs. They were about to get melted by the last soldier, just doing a bit of damage the rest of the team put in front of them, but it's not enough, and that's the interesting part, I guess, about map cups like this. These people have not played these games much, these maps much. They're just kind of figuring out things as they go along, and I mean, this might not be the strat for the future, I think, but they found something eventually.
Yeah, like it's not, you wouldn't normally see a heavy and sniper doing that much work throughout the entire round, let alone on last for that long. Usually, eventually, the pushing team would find a way to get through it. Now they're running Spy to mid on the side of Venom Crosshairs. They're not taking this as seriously, are they? Or maybe they're taking it too serious.
They're taking this too serious. They're trying to outstretch their opponent so hard. Again, they played yesterday. They played a straight-up game of 6v6 with the class that you'd expect, and they did not win the straightforward fight. They did not win on even ground, so it just changed the level of play here a little bit, changed the axis you're operating on, and maybe that will do something for you. And I mean, the mid-fight might not be that, they just couldn't take space, because who's there to take space? There's no soldiers. But overall in the game it seems to be doing stuff, and I mean, who's to say they would expect a spy nowadays just lurking behind them, and it's as easy as that.
There you go, gets the stab onto Joe, manages to almost escape, not quite, unfortunately. They do turn around eventually and gun him down, but that's going to be a huge Uber ad for Orange here if he manages to stay alive, or at least not die with it, almost does. Just barely uses in time. It's going to be a bit of an Uber force, but I suppose if they clean up even just one player with it, it is something.
Oh, great stuff, though. I'm going to expect Yawn to rotate back under as well. Don't even chase the same way around and gets this kill quick. Wastes a little bit of time here, but it will most certainly get them into the midpoint at the very least.
And it'll keep them rolling forward as well. They've switched off the spy. I mean, Huge has done his work, right? That's all it took. That medic pick was all you can really ask for. Now they have to cap this mid and actually defend it, though. There's a lot of aggression coming out of NOOBPANZER. They want to keep the aggression up here, and they find a frag onto Huge. No soldiers now for them to worry about. Everybody else is bunched up in the choke as well, so they're going to be backing out soon. Venom is going to get tanked as much as he can, but he is going to die eventually. And they only find a kill onto Marco on the other side here. And neither can Peak really do much with the sniper. He's basically caught in behind already. Maybe he can get a cheeky snipe onto somebody, but the flank is just cleaning up here. Yawn and Horse moving forward, cleaning up everybody. It's suddenly only like Huge and maybe Peak left to even try and fight this. Huge does get a kill onto one scout, gets cleaned up by the other though. And the sniper finally has to run away as well. Or face the consequences, which in this case means death.
Yeah, this worked really well. They just took a chance getting quick into mid before the enemy team can set up any shenanigans on the midpoint too much and just get in there and effectively better play them, right? Take the fight and just out-DM them. Just didn't find too many situations where it's hard against these just like funny clash shenanigans they're doing right now with the heavy and sniper staring you down all the time, but given a chance they can certainly do it, so just gotta keep the momentum up from here as much as they can.
And that is the name of the game. They have equal Ubers now, which means momentum might be stalled a little bit, and Marco getting shot out of the sky by an anti-air. Another follow-up there as well onto the scout. Peak is hitting his shots today. He's not quite giving it up just yet, and well, might as well go for a little bit more. They took down the other soldiers as well. It's not like he's got much to worry about, but nah, they'll just sit on last. They're gonna bunker up once more. we've seen this before. I'm having a bit of a deja vu right now. Maybe NOOBPANZER can find a way to break this hold though. No off classes, huh? They're not even gonna try.
Maybe we'll see what it'll take. It's night and day though. They got in on mid early enough before anything can get set up and they just roll them instantly. And now they try to get into last and everyone's ready for it and instantly it just falls apart. Not to the worst of extremes, I suppose. They still have their beam left alive after that little almost car crash, let's say. So chances are still plenty to try and make something happen. But it didn't look so great last time around. This time around they just go in all the way right away.
Okay.
3 people in deep, just see what they can do. It's getting the force. Now you have to live with the consequences though. How much is Venom Crosshairs willing to push in return now onto second?
Quite a lot, it seems. They're all pushing out, leaving the heavy behind on last, and everybody else just moving forward. Huge gets taken down. There's the counter Uber coming out finally, chasing into lobby with a singular scout. Will Yawn be able to do much here? All on his lonesome? I don't think so. It's not looking like there will be much. They take down the sniper as well towards the tail end, but that's it. Now they have to get into last with the player advantage alone. There's Huge spawning already as well. They're getting a little bit of cap time, but that's all they can do for now. And that heavy is still up. As soon as he gets closer to the point, you gotta take him down. They're actually finding a bit of frags here. They get the medic crucially as well. This could actually be it if they just get bullet off the point. Or Peak.
No! Peak
No way.
jetpack, what are you doing? This man's trying to lose and still wins anyway. Easiest kills of their life. That's gonna do it. Nice stuff by Peak coming in clutch there. That spawn was just barely too fast for them to handle. And the last shots from the Red Scout were just not doing it in the end. NOOBPANZER out again. This was looking so good as well. I can't help but feel though, if they played on second, the second they used the Uber with both Soldier and Scout together and just melted anyone coming close, it would have been just so much easier. But they only got a few kills instead of completely walking over them before they even had to go back to last. Now, however, back to second, and they're taking the same chances on mid earlier. They want to beat them out to the punch here on the second point, and that might just be the right call to make yet again.
Nice little shot there by Horseman onto Orange here, take down the medic. Beautifully done. They didn't even get to cap second either. This is a great opportunity from there, primed and ready to take us into last now. Just off the back of that alone. If they want to wait for the Uber, they certainly can. But they're rearing. They're being very antsy here, taking a lot of ground. Maybe dial it back just a second here. You still have 2 minutes before the round reset. You might just want to wait for that Uber. You're gonna have a big ad to work with, and as long as you don't throw it away comedically, you might actually have an opportunity to convert the round off the back of it as well. That being said, they have to yet set the precedent for that as Uber comes in on the far right side, and they're gonna have to take some grounds here. They're not finding anything though. They actually lost one of their scouts immediately. The heavy is still not getting taken down. They finally find the frag onto him, and they've also found the medic, but is it gonna be enough? They have so much DM to deal with here. They didn't even get second because there was actually just a back cap with both scouts running behind and backcapping. I honestly didn't notice.
Honestly, easiest game of their life, like I said, and they're just continuing to GV, especially continues to play on flags as well. Has played like 3 classes already, and switch to Scout, comes in at the right time, exactly as was planned. Hiding in the corner, suddenly catches the medic off guard after already getting the backup to save the last point to begin with. And there you go, play 3 different classes and succeed on all of them.
Unbelievable. Huge, the greatest flex player of all time. Mookie who? Never heard of him. This guy's got everything on lockdown. He absolutely wonderful play right now. I mean, they don't even have to like win the round necessarily, right? We're getting to the point now. 2/3 of the map time are done. At this stage, they could just chill. They can just, you know, continue being the defensive stuff they've been doing already. They're up 2 rounds. They can just sit back here if you're Venom Crosshairs. It's completely in NOOBPANZER's hands to make stuff happen. They trade out a soldier for the sniper. They lose a scout as well. And now they find themselves in a bit of a rough position here in this little lobby area / hallway. That's probably not going to be a great position to be in when there's Ubers on both, well, not even on both sides, just on the enemy side. Okay, Huge gets dropped out of the Uber, and Omgar is just going to continue running forward, maybe seeing, nope, nobody to catch out. All right, just back up you go, and they're going to just hold on to a second. At least Joe stayed alive. He's got an Uber coming up, so there's potential here for NOOBPANZER to finally turn this around, but Stace gets caught. Nope, manages to get the kill on the scout, does not get caught by anybody else, is going to be able to live and get out alive. 2 hold loss as well.
Well, that's really decent right now. It might be 2-0, but emotionally it feels so much worse than that for NOOBPANZER. Being not just down in the game that was a comfortable win just yesterday, but also the way that it's been going as well. Just completely outdone in so many awkward ways that you just don't want to have to deal with a lot of the time. But you gotta win it now. Here comes the Uber charge. Something has to happen for this round. Finally go down, get the demo, get the medic, get on point, and that's all they need. Everyone else just hiding all sorts of directions. Sniper and Heavy nowhere close to being useful on point just there, and that might just be the comeback. 10 minutes left, there's plenty of time, but my god, do they need to keep a pace now.
So much cap time on the point. Nobody even tried to block it whatsoever out of the side of Venom Crosshairs. They were just so busy dealing with anybody else aggressing on the other side, and yeah, all it takes sometimes is just you play the objective and ignore the Heavy that's just standing next to you shooting at God knows what else, and you win. Now they have to do it again, and then potentially again, and actually win the map. And so far, this mid is what we've seen before. Everybody on Venom Crosshairs kind of just bunched up in this little choke area. No real place to go. They're kind of just stuck in there. The Heavy gets taken down as well. They find like a frag onto Horseman, but that's about it. Okay, Omgar gets a kill onto Joe there. That's kind of huge. It salvages it at least a little bit, but that's probably going to be all she wrote for Venom Crosshairs' attempt at taking this mid. Omgar is still staying alive for so long. Finally gets taken down. The mid is gonna go the way of Venom Crosshairs, but it's not as clean as they could have wanted. Not Venom Crosshairs, sorry, NOOBPANZER. But it's not gonna be as clean as they would have wanted it.
Yeah, it's not a huge advantage like Lever, so it's gonna be difficult for Venom Crosshairs to push quickly right now, and as we've seen with these classes, a lot harder to push quickly anyway. Might just settle for a bit of a stalemate once again. Still in the lead, still could afford to do it, but look at that. While one team might want to slow things down, the other team has to hurry things up. Crit streak being built here on Joe's end of the match, and like I said, if the opponent's doing things like this, you gotta find options to actually just have a huge haymaker, open things up somehow, and then you DM your way through, which the DM department has worked pretty well, so just a matter of getting in here to begin with that might need a bit of fixing, and maybe just 1-2 people dying instantly is the change they need to see. Let's see what it brings on the Crit streak. Ratslayer on the beam finds this crit sticky spot, the opponent finds him faster.
Unfortunately, that thing is hit scan. It is instantaneous. Once Peak left clicks, you are dead if he aimed well. And, well, there you go. That shuts down the crits entirely. There's an Uber ready as well for the side of Venom Crosshairs, and they're taking it forward. Running in deep into mid here. Huge just wants to take the beam as far as he can. Maybe even, well, ideally not use the Uber, but if they gotta, they gotta. Naturally, NOOBPANZER are woefully aware of this. Trying to just maybe put a bit of distance between themselves. Maybe try and get an early force out. Marco for that. Now they're on second, now they gotta run away, and with 7.5 minutes left, you do not want to be on the back foot if you're down a round.
Yeah, that could be very, very awkward right now, but blue team still on the push. Crit streak not here yet. Either not willing to be used for this either, but looks like they are in the clear. Ripka Bomb gets close, but not close enough in the end. Coming in here from the flank side. The little shuttle is still always terrifying to walk past, but nothing bad happens there. The Heavy takes the left flank instead, and with that, all the options are covered. Red team with a Duba only up after the fact. Out of this point already, and now they have a very little upper battle to amount on the red team. Back to their own last point, while already rounds down, and the opponents, if they paid attention, they might notice this a crit streak. You can see that. It's hard to notice in the heat of things sometimes, but that thing is very visible if you just really pay attention, so you could just hope for the best here and just try to immediately get on them with invincible players.
Or you can play the slow and steady game like that. With
maybe just wait for another kill, yeah.
Another little headshot rung off onto Ratslayer. That's probably going to slow things down a little bit if you're trying to defend here. The crits do come out, but unnaturally, you're not going to be doing much against invincible players. No matter how much damage you're doing, it's always going to amount to 0. There's only a Scout and Joe left. There's a spawner coming in with Ratslayer as well, but he's not going to get out of spawn in time. That's making it 3-1. and they are trying to put the final nails in the coffin here. 6 minutes is still plenty of time for a comeback, but it's gotta be pretty tight. It's gotta be pretty flawless for NOOBPANZER here. Otherwise, there is no way they're winning Sultry now.
Plenty is a strong word I would not use in this situation. It is doable, however, but this needs complete do-over right now, and the mid-fight has to be looking according to that. No Kurtzkrieg this time around didn't quite work as intended with a sniper in the field, I would imagine, but maybe just getting in here quick might be the way. However, even Darius is getting in the action. Arrows is sold out of the sky, just can't get in anymore. The pipes, however, are landing anyway. Medic goes down even with doing 70 damage on the mid-fight. Can they do the rest from here? Counter kill comes through. Ellie taken care of. Tempted by Omega to get in from the lower area, but might not be enough. The bombs come through anyway. Something has to happen. They're already down the medic, but they cannot find the counter kill. And Sniper and Heavy just are not the ones to really make the big plays for you in these situations. They just cannot get in close to get the medic out of sightlines. So it's just hoping for the best that they are approaching you in just a bit of a generous way with the Heavy around the corner. That might just be a good start right now, but there's still an Uber in the way of things that can change things on the second point. And I mean, you can just stay in and hope for a force as so long as any of these classes, if you want to have any chance of living yourself.
Yeah, they just got a bunker up on last again, and we've been here for approximately half of the map time, so it's gonna be a very familiar situation. NOOBPANZER with a full ad, well not full, but like an Uber ad, an Uber ready to go to push into last. The fence being built here by Venom Crosshairs, ready to take on anything that comes their way. The Uber comes in on the left side this time around. They get in deep, they get the sentry early. Are they going to be able to get the cap time as well? The Heavy gets taken down. That's pretty huge. They're actually finding a couple of frags here. Are they going to be able to actually close out the cap though? Come on.
Oh,
yes,
the saw came out by entry, but he could not switch back to Medigun. It's going to be a drop, and the worst one as well. You got the Uber, but there's still nothing you can do about dying there. And there you go. That was a quick one. 6 minutes. Turned into 4.5, and one more round on the board in the meantime. The objective is very clear. You can take all of those 4.5 minutes. You will get bonus time after you tie this back up into overtime, but you gotta get there first of all.
That could very well prove to be difficult. If, like, honestly, if you're Venom Crosshairs here at this point, you could just decide not even to really show up to mid. Just go to second, hold on, just be a little bit more defensive, and you're in the clear potentially. But that might not be what they want to do. Huge is back on the soldier. They find a frag out to Marco early as well, and that could slow things down ever so slightly here for NOOBPANZER, with Venom still up on the Heavy as well. They take a lot of damage, but not taken down crucially. Finally, they find Huge in behind. Now, bomb in by Poison does only find the sniper though. And now they're bleeding players left and right. Unger is just going to run forward with help from his Heavy as well. Finally, actually gets taken care of. But they're still not that decisive on the victory here, and the Heavy just rolls forward, stays with some extra damage as well. They have to run away.
Alright, well, one step at a time to bring this back in Venom Crosshairs' favor. At least in the pace of the game, right? Last few minutes have been heavily against them, even if they're in the lead. Can't let the spiral more to control, want to have the midpoint, but NOOBPANZER have not much of a choice. They gotta get it sooner or later. Still one down for the time being, but they're pressuring a lot already. This is midfight number 2, but they're just treating it like the extension of the first one. It might just be. With viewers up though, it's gonna be a little bit more awkward treading around all of this as well, and a lot harder to get in once the Heavy and Sniper already have good position. But again, something's gonna give sooner or later. Wrestler trying to make some space, gets watered at by everyone, takes so much damage, but here's the bomb from behind. Marco trying to open things up, turn some heads, but maybe not enough, so they still have time to get Wrestler in the meantime, and they're just stuck here with one down and one behind it. Struggling getting in themselves. Here's the bomb. Finally, something's happening towards the medics. The force does come out. They're using this while couldn't save Rivka anymore. This exchange might not be going NOOBPANZER's favor.
No, not at all. They've lost way too many players outside of it that were not caught in the Uber, and you just gotta give up that positioning. Marco's still in behind, still being a bit of a nuisance. Stays gonna try to take care of that perhaps, but nah, just gonna leave him to his devices. As long as he's behind you, he's not really doing much, and as long as you know roughly where he is, you don't really have to worry about him. Can keep rolling forward as this just amalgamation of blue players make their way forward. They lose Omger, but that's a small price to pay for a potential pick like that. And Joe getting taken down as well with the sniper just sneaking that in there, just sneaking it right in there. It's over, dude. It's so over.
It might just be that's the energy kill as well, but this is going to be a 2-minute push across the map. I don't know about that. Gotta have hope for it, but mine is running out pretty quickly. I don't know. Theirs, NOOBPANZER looking down really bad right now. The headshot still landing for Peak, and this all just started because they were like one missed pistol shot off of killing the Heavy as they're trying to approach on Venom Crosshairs, and all of a sudden it's just fallen completely apart against them.
Well, there's still a chance, I suppose. I wouldn't count them out just yet. Unfortunately, Marco getting absolutely nutted on like that is certainly going to be a morale just loss as well from like a psychological warfare standpoint. There goes Brook as well, so it is crumbling ever so slightly, and Venom Crosshairs are just keeping up the pressure. That peak is just completely uncontested. Man's just standing in the middle of nowhere, just completely out in the open, lining up shots leisurely. Nobody's contesting the sniper at all, and even if you're not landing shots, it doesn't necessarily matter all that much because you got your heavy backing you up as well. It's such a tough thing to beat for some reason. Who knew that this map was all it took to revitalize the 6th meta is a map nobody's familiar with, and then you get heavy sniper just absolutely dominating for most of the match.
Well, maybe all you need is just a few guys that are a bit too keen about the still ongoing Highlander season they're in right now as well. Might be in Div 1 too, so Bearded 6 is on Highlander. They're doing pretty well for themselves right now, either way, and this is just another minor accomplishment, I suppose, on their belt. And who knows, maybe there's going to be a good Highlander player's position for them in as well in the future. Who knows? There's still a week to play in that one too, but in the meantime, they're focused on this game here right now. The last few dying moments of this game might be a little bit of a mess, but they've earned to have some fun right now. Venom Cross is going to move into the grand finals of this map cup.
Well, that is going to be a best of 3, so they actually have an opportunity to play more than just a map.
Yeah, we will see what comes out of it. Joe also asked me if there's a 3rd place game, which I'm pretty sure there isn't, but let me gonna just tell him on Steam real quick.
I wonder who they're gonna go up against. Who's the other finalist? I guess we don't know. I guess we just do not know yet.
I can investigate immediately. That should probably not be too hard to find out, right?
Actually, might be Gun Theory, considering they got a default win.
Oh yeah, in that case it's Gun Theory. That was the team that got first in groups anyway, so not surprising. Did have a nail-biter win against NOOBPANZER as well yesterday. That was like a 1-0 game on Sultry as well. So barely got away with it last time. This time around, Sultry's not in their favor. Solid roster as well. A lot of familiar faces, I would imagine, for anyone that has even just mostly watched Premiership, I suppose. So should be an interesting one. They are coming up very shortly. I don't know when it's scheduled for. How much time are admins allowing to people waiting before the game starts? Let us find out real quick while I'm checking this. And in the meantime, I mean, you can't underestimate these heavies, right? It's just... It's always easy to say, oh, heavy is just slow, so it's never good.
Yeah.
But if you position them well, that still does a lot, even if your opponent... There was the one few moments where NOOBPANZER got away with just like rushing them in before they can really set up, and then it's really rough to have the heavy, because you're just so far back if you come into the fight late and just have no good position for anything. But the moment you're in a good position, it might just still turn your favor. Nice stuff there. I mean, Valorant win for sure.
Yeah, it helped them as well. That, I guess, unfamiliarity with the map obviously plays a huge role here. Naturally, like if this was process, there was no way this would have ever happened. Obviously,
well, maybe not like this, I guess. I suppose.
Yeah, not to the exact same level. Let's say like that, because like if you're not familiar with the map, not terribly familiar, you've been playing it for this cup, basically, right? Maybe you've scrimmed it a couple times or played it in a pug or whatever, but you've maybe played the map a total of 5 times at most. You're not going to be all that familiar with where exactly you could be positioning yourself, where exactly you could be pushing people from, where other people could be standing, and not just that, then how you bust wacky holds like that with a heavy sniper. Once you know the map very well, that's easy to get around, but without it, I don't know. It's going to be a bit tougher.
Yeah,
so
all right.
It worked out well.
Well, that's not the last we see of Venom Crosshairs, and like we said, Gun Theory coming up next against them as well in Grand Finals. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back at 9 to give you the best of 3 Grand Finals of this map cup, so stay tuned.